They were the champions of District 2 this year. They will be taking on the Vikings of Fort Worth Nolan Catholic High School, the champions of District 1. Bishop Lynch and Fort Worth Nolan Catholic were longtime fierce rivals for nearly 2 decades in the old District 1, but with the increase of 6A schools, including Fort Worth All Saints Episcopal and Midland Christian, they had to split the districts, so Nolan went west in a district with Argyle Liberty Christian, Fort Worth All Saints, Midland Christian, and Trinity Christian Addison moved over there. And in the, I guess you would call it the East District of North Texas, you have Dallas Bishop Lynch, Dallas Bishop Dunn, Ursuline Academy, Parish Episcopal, Plano John Paul II, and Plano Prestonwood Christian. Really quickly, let's do a quick setup of the starting lineups for both teams. We'll have the introductions of all the players and the prayer national anthem in just a few minutes as we see Coach Amy Wheeler and Don Parham meeting with the umpires at home plate. Here's the starting lineup for the Bishop Lynch Friars. It is as follows. Batting first is number 10, Gabby Quintanilla. She's the shortstop. She is followed by number 15, Alexis Martinez, who's playing first. The pitcher is number 4, Tabitha Jackson. She's hitting in the 3-hole. In the cleanup spot is number 71, Lilia Farlow, and she forms the battery with Tabitha Jackson as the catcher. Batting fifth is number 12, Evelyn Santos. She is the second baseman for the Friars. Next up will be number 2, Natalia Escalante. She is the third baseman. And then ending the last three will be number 7, Marielma Gonzalez in center field. Batting eighth is J.P. Samus, number 44. She'll be in right. And then batting ninth is number 11, Libby Land. She will be manning center field for the Friars. They're led by head coach Amy Wheeler. For the Nolan Catholic Lady Vikings, or now Vikings, the starting lineup is as follows. You got number 9, Kate Hornick. She is the center fielder. Batting second is their starting pitcher, number 27, Peyton Reeves. And batting third is number 4, Delaney Boley, a Texas A&M Commerce commit who is the catcher. The fourth place hitter is number 7, Caitlin Brown. She is the first baseman. Number 20 is Colleen McAvoy. She is playing third. Batting in the sixth spot is number 10, Emmy Hornick. She is the left fielder for the Vikings. Batting seventh is Elena Larson. She is the shortstop. She's batting seventh. Batting eighth is Peyton Fisher. She's playing second base. And batting ninth is Mackenzie Ross, the designated player. And Samantha Watson is the right fielder and flex player for the Vikings. My name is Mike Weber alongside my broadcast partner Gabriel Duarte, and we are looking forward to a great matchup here. Gabe, why don't you tell us some more about the Nolan-Lynch rivalry, which has been pretty storied throughout the years?
Absolutely. As you mentioned, longtime district rivals until recent realignment, and that's across all sports. Of course, Bishop Lynch has long been a powerhouse in girls athletics, generally speaking. That goes with basketball, volleyball, and everything else. But when you're looking at softball specifically, Nolan has a slightly better history, at least in terms of playoff appearances or state final appearances, with 9 appearances in their history, 1 win way back in 84-85. Bishop Lynch with 6 appearances, but they've got 3 titles to their name, the most recent one occurring in 2013-2014.
And Nolan's had a number of close calls in the state tournament in recent years. They made it here last year, got shut down by a dominant pitching performance from Katie St. John. Their record this year was not as good as it was last year, where they were pretty dominant, but Coach Parham said they played a much tougher schedule this year in hopes that it would prepare them for the state tournament, in particular with dealing with the powerhouse teams out of Houston and San Antonio that we're going to see tonight in Houston St. Agnes Tigers and the Shamrocks from San Antonio and Incarnate Word.
That's right. This is Nolan's 4th straight state final tournament appearance, so they've had a lot of momentum, a lot of potential, and a fair amount of disappointment to go along with that. Not able to quite get over that hump yet. They're hoping that this year is that year, but they're certainly going to be tested here in this game versus Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, Bishop Lynch with a very impressive record this year. Lynch fans over here have a number of clappers, and apparently they also have a fever because they've got a prescription for cowbells.
It's that time of year, Mike.
Yeah. Makes me think I'm at a baseball game at Mississippi State University.
So it's a really exciting evening, quite frankly, we have coming up. This is going to be a great game. St. Agnes versus Incarnate Ward is going to be a great game, and then that state championship, no matter who comes out of these semifinals, is also set to be a fantastic game.
And we're going to turn it over right now to our PA announcer for the introduction of the teams and the invocation and national anthem.
We ask that all fans act in a responsible and courteous manner at all times. The umpires of today's contest are our guests and should be treated as so. Please refrain from going onto the field following the game so that the next teams can begin their warm-ups. TATS would also like to express its appreciation to Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball for TATS, for providing the game balls for this contest. Now introducing the visitors for this game. The Bishop Lynch Friars, who come into today's contest with a season record of 23 wins, 13 losses, and 2 ties. And now for the Friars starting lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 10, Gabby Santana. Batting second at first base, number 15, Alexis Martinez. Pitching, number 4, Tabitha Jackson. Batting cleanup, catcher, number 71, Lila Farlow. Hitting fifth and playing second base, number 12, Evelyn Sanders. Batting sixth at third base, number 2, Natalie Escalante. Hitting seventh, center fielder, number 7, right field, number 44, J.P. Singh. And batting ninth, playing left field, number 11, Libby Land. The Stars are led by head coach Amy Miller, assisted by Gary Wainwright, Lee Farrell, and Olivia Ramirez. Now introducing the home team for this game, Nolan Catholic Vikings, who come into today's contest with a season record of 17 wins and 12 losses. And now for the starting lineup. Leading off and playing center field, number 9, Katie Hornet. Batting second, pitcher, number 27, Peyton Reed. Batting third, pitcher, number 4, Delaney Foley. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 7, Portland Brown. Hitting fifth at third base, number 20, Colleen McAvoy. Batting sixth in left field, number 10, Amy Hornick. Hitting seventh and playing shortstop, number 8, Elena Larson. Batting eighth at second base, number 17, Peyton Fisher. And batting ninth, designated player, number 13, Mackenzie Ross. In the flex position and pitching, number 14, Samantha Watson. The Vikings are led by Coach John Perron, assisted by Jessica McCloskey. At this time, Renee Ramirez, athletic director of Nolan Catholic High School, will lead invocation.
Thank you. Please join us in prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Heavenly Father, you have blessed us with many gifts and talents. We thank you for the ability to participate in sports today And we thank you for these two fine Catholic schools that serve to advance your will. Grant to all athletes, coaches, umpires, and fans strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of the athletes, protect them from injury and harm, and guide them to play with honor and dignity in a Christ-like manner. And finally, we pray for your grace, that you would provide us with the endurance to pursue our heavenly prize, eternal life in your Son. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And we are getting ready to begin this game here on Taps TV and Taps Radio. Nolan Catholic advanced to this game with a thrilling regional victory over Dallas Ursuline Academy. They were trailing 1-0 going into the bottom of the second. Hit a home run with the first batter to tie it up, and then got a runner on second, hit a double to drive her in and walk that game off. Bishop Lynch had a little bit of an easier time. As I mess with my phone to try and pull that up quickly. Again, as we mentioned, these two are former district rivals.
Lynch's last game was a 15-1 victory over Plano John Paul II, actually avenging their only district loss in the regular season, Mike.
So one team had a much easier time getting here. The other one had to pull out a squeaker to get through. Nolan's other playoff game was a 14-1 victory in the first round against Dallas Bishop Dunn, while Bishop Lynch defeated Trinity Christian of Addison 10-0 in their first round game. Nolan's overall record on the season is 17-12. Lynch is 25-13-2. And again, the winner of this game facing off against the winner of St. Agnes and Incarnate Word tonight at 6:30. Nolan starting off with the blue and white stripe early 80s Astros uniforms, white pants, white striped stockings. The Friars have the black jersey with the white shoulders and sleeves, the word white pants, the word black socks, and the words Friars printed across the front.
It's a beautiful day for softball here at Crosby. Of course, we've got the new turf and a slow turf field. What you might normally call dirt is painted black sort of color.
Peyton Reeves, starting pitcher, steps onto the rubber. She will have a protective face shield. Her first pitch is outside for ball one. Reeves looking in. Here's a pitch, swung on and fouled back to the screen. That brings an 0-2 count now up to Gabby Quintanilla, the leadoff batter. She's going to be followed by Alexis Martinez and Tabitha Jackson.
There's a decent breeze blowing in from right to left here.
It's been moving all day. As the game goes on, we might start to have the sun come into our faces a little bit. Slapped on to center field, but Kate Hornick is back there, and she will secure that ball for the first out of the inning for the Vikings. That'll bring up Alexis Martinez.
Now to bat, first baseman number 15, Alexis.
Wind might have helped carry that ball a little bit, but it wasn't anywhere close to the warning track or being a home run. We've seen about 3 home runs so far here at the tournament this weekend. Two in the Waco Riker Lubbock Christian game, and 1 in the Bullard Brook Hill Tyler Grace Community game. Here's Reeves' pitch, and that one catches the corner for a strike. She is tossing it to her battery mate, Delaney Boley. Swung on, and that one's over the infield's head, and that's going to go into right field for a hit. Watson cuts it off. Martinez will stop at first, and the Friars have the first base runner of the day.
Friars coming out swinging early, have made a contact twice. Now that one for a base hit.
And for a lot of teams, the theory these days is swing early, swing often. You do not want the starting pitchers getting into a real groove. Here's the pitch. That one's outside. Ball 1. It's 200 down the lines here. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. She got Tabitha Jackson, the starting pitcher, to go fishing on that one as it was out of the zone. 225 to the power alleys and 250 to dead center. Outside. 2-1 the count. It's an 8-foot-high wall all around the stadium except for center field where it goes up to 12 feet. Swung on. Caught by Larson, the shortstop. And that's the second out of the inning recorded by Peyton Reeves. And that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, number 71, Lilia Farlow.
The cleanup hitter, catcher number 71, Lila Farlow.
She is the catcher for the Friars. As Gabe mentioned, it's an all-turf field here. There's a big red Crosby Cougar logo out in the outfield. Blown away. Reeves hasn't started challenging the Friars hitters inside yet. And as Gabe also mentioned, the turf here, particularly the infield, the ball seems to bounce kind of slowly off of it. That pitch is also outside, bringing up a 2-0 count for Farlow.
The base runner, Alexis Martinez, something we haven't seen too much here in this tournament, is leading off with that left leg on the outside of the bag. A little bit of a different look for a base runner.
And that brings up a 3-0 count now. Here's the pitch. And there for a strike. Brings the count to 3-1. Farlow taking all the way there. We will see if she turns it loose here. Here's a pitch. Just on the inside part of the plate. That's one of the first times we've seen Reeves come inside to the hitter. Here's a pitch. And that one is high for ball 4. So Lilia Farlow will take a walk down to second. So runners at first and second for Bishop Lynch. 2 outs. Evelyn Santos.
Farlow did a good job of staying patient at the plate there, forcing the walk. And now an early threat for Bishop Lynch, but 2 outs on the board.
Santos looking to put the ball Nope, probably looking to drive the ball here. That pitch is, it looked like that was outside for ball one. Here's the pitch. Outside again. Correction, the count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. Got her to swing. 1-2 the count. And Peyton Reeves can get out of this inning unscathed if she's able to get Evelyn Santos out here, the starting second baseman for Bishop Lynch. Outside. Looks like she might have been trying to cross Santos up and get her to go fishing. And that one is low, and the count is drawn full. And Brown, the first baseman, comes in to give her starting pitcher a few words of encouragement. The Lady Vikings wearing blue visors. And they're going to call that ball 4. And suddenly the bases are full of Friars. And Natalia Escalante, number 2, the starting third baseman, is up.
Reeves, a junior, in a little bit of trouble here, but one quick swing can end the threat. Best thing that could happen to Reeves here is an easy ground ball out at any base.
She seems to be having a little bit more success on hitting the outside part of the plate to the lefty Escalante. Reeves, a right-hander. Swung on and slapped foul. The one advantage for Nolan in this situation is every base is a force out. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and that's going to go for a base hit. One run is in. Here comes a second runner.
Going to be close. No, Carter Brown cuts it off.
And now the ball gets away from the second baseman. A third runner is going to score.
Huge double by number 71, Lilia Farlow.
Martinez, Farlow, and Santos score. Escalante is at second.
That was a shot.
And that's a big opening inning right there for Bishop Lynch.
That was a shot, I mean, just roped to the right side of the shortstop.
Swung on and missed. I got 2-0 on the score, but 3 runners crossed the plate, so we're going with 3-0 as the score here on TAPS TV.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think maybe they missed the third runner coming in. After Brown cut the ball off, she tried to go for the out at
and now they just
base.
put it on the board.
There it is. I think that's where that error for Nolan comes from. And dropped the ball at second base.
That swing by Marielma Garcia is fouled back to the screen.
Nolan's definitely got a good hitting lineup.
And they'll need to put it on display really quickly after this. After running into some trouble here in the top half of the first. They had two outs and then walked the bases loaded. And then the big hit by Escalante cleared the bases and put 3 on the board. Swung on and drops in front of the center fielder. Runner coming around, and she is going to score.
Runner holds at second.
Garcia takes second on the throw in. And now it is 4-0 Bishop Lynch.
And all this damage with 2 outs on the board. And now a team huddle to try and settle things down for the Vikings.
Infield quickly meeting, trying to get Peyton Reeves calmed down in this situation. The hits that Bishop Lynch have had, they have definitely been lifting the ball here. That's generally been the secret to offensive success here.
The Friars are coming out with an aggressive approach at the plate. They are swinging the bat. They are not waiting to watch pitches.
No, they are going. The Friars have been going right after Peyton Reeves, not giving her any sort of a chance to get into a rhythm.
Number 44, J.P.
That pitch was outside for ball 1. Boley was able to jump out there and keep that ball from going to the backstop. Otherwise, the runner would have advanced. Here's the pitch. That one is called a strike. Umpire taking a little bit of time to raise the hand, but he did. Here's the pitch. Swung on, belted into center field. Will the run? And it is dropped by the right fielder. Another run scores. And it is 5-0 Bishop Lynch here in the first inning as Marielma Garcia comes around. J.P. Samus in there.
Emmy Hornick closes on it. Just couldn't make the grab. So close.
Yeah, it was a little... I think that may have been, hold on. Excuse me, yeah, Kate Hornick, the right fielder. And Emmy, the center.
A big cut by number 11, Libby Lands, looking for more there for the Friars.
5 runs across here in the inning for Bishop Lynch. And strike 3 on Libby Land. That ends the inning, but the damage is done. 5 runs on 3 hits and 2 Viking errors in that inning. And a couple of walks at the end of the first half at the end of half an inning of play. Your score: Bishop Lynch Friars 5, Nolan Catholic Vikings 0, here on Taps TV and Taps Radio. We are getting set here for the bottom half of the first inning as Bishop Lynch has finished their warm-up pitches. Really quickly, let's set the defense from left to right here for the Friars. In the infield, it'll be Escalante, Quintanilla, Santos, and Martinez from third to first. In the outfield, Land, Garcia, and Samus from left to right. And the battery is Jackson, the pitcher, and Farlow, the catcher. And Kate Hornick, the center fielder, is going to start off. Nolan does have a hard-hitting lineup, and they're going to need to get some hard hits, and start chipping away into this lead.
That's right, starting in a hole here, 5-0 in the first. But if there's a team that can bounce back and bounce back quickly here in this tournament, it's very likely these Vikings.
Hornick went for the running bunt and got called for strike one. Slapped on, hit to first base. First baseman Martinez picks it up, carries it over, and records out number one.
Next up to bat, pitcher number 27, Peyton Reeves.
Peyton Reeves, the starting pitcher, ran into a tough time there in the first inning. Steps in the batter's box. He's going to look to try and help her situation out. And that one is in there for a ball. Reeves. That time she swung at it and it caught the plate, so that is strike one. Reeves looking to do the running slap hit. That ball goes underneath the catcher and back to the backstop. No damage done since there was nobody on base.
Reeves lays off of that one, pulling ahead of the count.
Yeah, she took her steps, but then did not swing. There's a pitch. And that one caught the outside part of the plate. Right at the top of the zone. That'll bring up a 2-2 count now to Peyton Reeves.
It's a little bit of the risk the batter takes being so far up in the box and moving forward like that. A ball that starts high can drop on you and end up in the strike zone when you lay off of it.
That one, however, just plain old dropped out of the strike zone for ball three. So it's a full count now to Peyton Reeves as she looks to become the first base runner for the Vikings in the inning. And she does become the first base runner, draws the walk.
Good at bat there for Reeves. Her patience pays off. Fights hard to earn that walk.
Delaney Boley, the starting catcher, up to bat now. A Texas A&M Commerce commit. Bishop Lynch has Gabby Quintanilla, who's a commit to East Central Oklahoma. And several other players on both teams are also looking at various schools for the next level. Here's a pitch. Swung on. Missed. 1-1 the count to Delaney Boley. Here's Jackson's pitch. Swung on. That one is smashed out into left field, but right at land the left fielder to record the out.
J.P. Samus saw the ball immediately, closed on it quickly, and she needed to get there in time. Excellent play by the left fielder. Excuse me, that is Land, Libby Land, number 11, out in left field.
So that's 2 outs now for the Friars here in the inning. As the first pitch there to Cortland Brown is a ball. Farlow tried to get Peyton Reeves wandering a little bit too far. She made it back into first base safely, so a 1-0 count. That one is high. 2-0 the count. Jackson seems to be more of a power pitcher. Oh, she has walked one batter already. That one in there for strike one. That one is low. And that'll bring the count to 3-1. So we will see if Cortland Brown gets turned loose here. Swung on, hit into left center field, and it is off the wall and a home run! I did not see that ball going out, but Cortland Brown has put the Vikings on the board with a ball that hit the top of the wall and then went out. Land was going over. It looked like she had a beat on it, but then it kept carrying and carrying. Wind helping it a little bit.
I was just about to say, Mike, it looks like the wind is now blowing out. And she got a hold of that one, and just enough.
It's rare when you're actually surprised by home run balls, because you can kind of tell when one has a chance. That one didn't look like it right off the bat, but it went and went and went. And now Colleen McAvoy is up to bat.
Big shot by Cortland Brown.
Base is empty, but
Brown, a junior for this Viking squad.
McAvoy, the third baseman. Nobody on base, but some momentum now from that home run by Cortland Brown. Clayton herself and Peyton Reeves. Swung on and hit hard, but well foul. And that's into the bullpen area on the Nolan side. That one is high.
Tabitha Jackson now seemingly being a little more careful with her pitches.
Jackson started off the inning well. Swung on, and that is going to be fielded by Quintanilla, the shortstop, over to Martinez at first, and that's going to end the first inning of play, but the Vikings get a couple back after one full inning of play here at this Division I semifinal. Your score, Dallas Bishop Lynch Friars 2, Dallas Bishop Lynch Friars 5, Fort Worth Nolan Catholic Vikings 2, here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio's coverage of the State Softball Championships. And we are getting set to begin here, the top of the second inning. Bishop Lynch jumped out to a 5-run lead in the top of the first. Nolan Catholic answered back with a 2-run home run in the bottom half of the inning.
Getting things started for the Friars will be shortstop number 10, Gabby Quintanilla.
Gabby Quintanilla, the leadoff hitter, starting off this inning. Peyton Reeves ran into some trouble there in the first look. We'll want to see if she can. She's going to want to try and execute a shutdown inning here as she starts with ball one to Quintanilla. Foul ball back to the screen. That'll be ball 2 there from Reeves. A little bit of trouble finding the strike zone right now. Moving quickly over at the Division 5 Championship, San Jacinto Christian leads 5-2, and that one is a pop-up, and Larson snags that one and happily puts it away for out number 1 in the inning.
And off to that, first baseman number 15, Alexis Martinez.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Alexis Martinez. See some members of the St. Agnes softball team heading out. That one caught the outside corner for a strike. That one is well high for ball 1. Peyton Reeves steps back into the circle onto the rubber. Here's the pitch swung on, and that is caught and dropped by the second baseman. Throws over to first and gets her. Fisher over to Brown.
Nice recovery by number 17, Peyton Fisher. Initially bobbled the catch, but able to keep her composure and fired over to first base to record the out.
Yeah, we've seen a number of cases where a fielder will get their hands on the ball, bobble a little bit, then all of a sudden, I wouldn't say panic, but suddenly can't make up their mind up as to what to do. But Fisher did not have that issue there, and that's going to bring up Tabitha Jackson, the starting pitcher, as Peyton Reeves now has 2 outs and nobody on here in the inning, looking to get a shutdown inning after her team got back into it in the bottom half of the first. 1-1 the count now to Jackson. Here's a pitch. High and inside. Made Jackson bend back a bit.
A little chin music.
Reeves seems to have a little bit better control of her pitches here in the first inning. Excuse me, in the second inning. Swung on into left field. The left fielder going back. This one is off the wall. And Emmy Hornick has a little bit of trouble holding it. But Jackson holds up at second with a double. I was starting to think that one might have a chance to carry, but yeah. it died getting.
It certainly looked like it. I'll tell you, the most consistent thing about the win today has been the inconsistency.
Yeah, and Jackson is going to get a courtesy runner out at second base now.
And we've got a win gust now. Had that ball gone up about 30 seconds later, it probably would have been that.
Yeah, that would have carried quite a ways right there. But in the meantime now, there's a runner on second and Lilia Farlow, the catcher. Mike. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Farlow came around to score in the last inning. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Pop back to the screen. Boldy catches it off the bounce. And the count is 1-2 to Lilia Farlow. Outside. few of the Nolan faithful have a different theory as to where that ball was, but the umpires said nope, just outside.
Bowley chatting with the umpire as well.
Now that one's definitely a ball, so that one brings the count full, and Reeves looking to avoid having a Friar hitter take a free base here. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Farlow takes a walk down to first. And that's going to bring up number 12, Evelyn Santos, the starting second baseman.
Lynch did its damage in the last inning with 2 outs on the board. The Vikings looking to avoid that again.
Here's Reeves' pitch. That one caught the corner for a strike. Swung on to the first baseman, Brown. She picks it up, she steps on the base, and that brings the inning the top half of the second to a close. 2-run, a double and a walk, but the Friars leave 2 on base, and after an inning and a half of play, it is Dallas Bishop Lynch 5, Fort Worth Nolan Catholic 2, here on the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV. And we're back here on TAPS TV. And looks like the boys Division 4 state championship just concluded. Looks like we should give out congratulations to Amarillo San Jacinto Christian Academy as they triumph over New Braunfels Christian 5-3 in the Division 4 championship. Let's say congratulations to the school and the team. Matt Tarbutton, the athletic director here, has also been there, has also been a colleague on several of our TAPS TV broadcasts. As the Friars meet, and this inning is going to be started off by number 10, Emmy Hornick, the left fielder for the Vikings. Swung on and hit right past the third baseman. Escalante dove for it. Looked like she was going to have it for a moment, and then it scooted underneath the glove.
That's a good hit for the Vikings. I believe it looks like Escalante should have been able to get there.
It looks like they're maybe looking to try and go after Jackson earlier in the count. And Elena Larson, the shortstop, now up to bat for the Vikings. And looking to climb back out of the 5-0 hole that they began the game in. Got 2 back in the first. Farlow escorts Hornick back to first. It's a 1-0 count now to Larson. Swung on into center field. Garcia's there. Got underneath that just a bit. So that is the first out of the bottom half of the second.
17,
Peyton Fisher, the second baseman for the Vikings. Now up to bat.
Fisher, the only senior on this Viking squad.
And both of these teams are relatively young squads. No seniors on Bishop Lynch as she swings and misses for strike 1. No seniors on the Bishop Lynch squad, and Fisher, the only senior on the Vikings team. Swung and a miss, strike 2. Jackson gets up in the count now, 0-2. With Emmy Hornick still at first base, hoping that her teammate can advance her. That one is outside. Jackson threw out the bait. Larson did not bite. And there's on the outside corner for a called strike 3.
The first strikeout we've seen in this game so far, courtesy of Tabitha Jackson.
And Mackenzie Ross, the designated player, will step into the box. Here's first pitch. In there for a strike. She is batting in place of Samantha Watson, the right fielder, although Watson could flex in to bat if need be, since she's considered the flex. Here's a pitch. That's high. Okay, they've got the count up on the board. They still had 1 ball and 3 strikes, but count is 1-0 here to Mackenzie Ross. Here's a pitch. It's a wireless scoreboard, and sometimes those things can be a little bit slow to react. That one is out and too far inside for ball 2. Here's Jackson's pitch. Swung on and just foul.
That ended up about 1.5 feet to the left of the foul line.
If you straighten that one out just a little bit, that's a double without any questions asked.
Scary moment there for Friars fans.
Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that ends the inning. An opening hit for the Vikings, but no further damage after that. After 2 full innings of play, your score: Bishop Lynch Friars 5, Nolan Catholic Vikings 2. On coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. Getting set to begin the top of the third inning, Natalia Escalante will batting first. She'll be followed by Marielma Garcia and J.P. Samus. Escalante had a big double in the last inning, which helped drive in a couple of runs for Bishop Lynch. Natalia Escalante. And Peyton Reeves steps up to the circle for her third inning of work. That one well inside.
Escalante had to back away from that where it might have hit her.
Her coach may be saying, just let it hit you. She might respond, do you really want to get hit? Do you really want to get hit by a ball that large? 1-1 the count now to Escalante. Reeves looking in, here's the pitch. Swung on, and coming on is the left fielder, Emmy Hornick. She records the out there.
That was a tough grab with the way this wind is blowing in that direction.
Yeah, it is a little bit tough for the outfielders to pick up on it out there and know exactly what it's doing. So when they do make a decision, they do have to make a decision quick and then and go for it.
You saw
Marielma Garcia now to bat.
Just a slight hesitation there by Hornick, but she was able to get herself in the right place, right time. Excellent catch.
Yeah, we've seen we've seen a lot of cases where somebody seems to hesitate for a second, it suddenly blows up in their face. And that pitch is outside for ball one. Here's the pitch. Outside ball two. Again, Reeves has been content to try and work that outside part of the plate, but there have been a couple of times today where she's had close calls that didn't go away, although that one does cross. That one crosses over the plate. So it brings up a 2-1 count now to Garcia, the starting center fielder for Bishop Lynch. Swung on, foul ball. And that evens the count up to 2-2. That ball's bounced in there, and we've got a full count now to Marielma Garcia. Don't let the fact that she's the 7th spot hitter fool you. She can swing the bat, as evidenced by the double she got in the last inning. Here's the pitch. Called strike three. I believe that is the first strikeout for Reeves, is it not?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's 2 outs right here. Reeves would love to avoid going through what she went through the last inning when she got 2 outs and then let two runners on base.
The Vikings would love to see Reeves settling in here. Started a little shaky, but she's putting it together now.
And Lynch was going after her very quickly early in the game. J.P. Samus, the right fielder, up to bat. Showed the bunt for a second, then pulled it back. Swung on and foul back to the screen. And suddenly Samus finds herself in an 0-2 hole. If she is able to make it on base, Libby Land, the left fielder, is up next. Here's a pitch. Swung on. Right back to Reeves. She tosses it over to Brown, and that's the inning.
Excellent underhand toss from the glove for Reeves to get the ball to ground.
Yeah, the ball kept skittering away from her, so she had to run it down, pick it up, and shoveled it over to Brown to record the 3rd out in the inning. After 2.5 innings of play here on the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio, it's the Bishop Lynch Friars 5 and the Nolan Catholic Vikings 2. we're back here on Caps TV, getting ready to start the bottom half of the third inning. The leadoff batter, number 9, Kate Hornick,
Center fielder number 9, Katie Hornick.
will be leadoff hitter will be leading off the inning for Nolan Catholic. She'll be followed by Peyton Reeves and Delaney Boley. And she steps in against Tabitha Jackson. Both pitchers settle down after giving up some runs in the first inning. That one is high for ball 1.
Hornick wearing the large letter C on the left shoulder, indicating her captainship for Nolan Catholic. Don't always see that on softball teams.
No, and you don't always see it in baseball either. So, but the team chose to put that big C on her to let everybody know that this is the leader and the one that people need to follow. Here's Jackson's pitch. That's low. And that brings the count 2-0. Excuse me, 3-0. 3-0 the count. The umpire holds the 3 fingers up on his left hand. That one in there for a strike. And Boley takes a little bit of a walk around. In a friendly hitter's count, though, now. We'll see if she turns it loose. Excuse me, Hornick, that is, Hornick. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there by Jackson, hitting the outs. 3-2 the count now to Kate Hornick. Jackson looking in. Here's a pitch. And that one is low and in the dirt for ball 4.
Great pitcher-batter battle there. Hornick working the walk. Well-deserved.
Falling behind 3-0 on the count. Jackson battled back to get 2 strikes, but that last pitch, a little bit of a worm burner as Peyton Reeves steps up to the plate. And here's Jackson's pitch. That one hit the outside. Umpire says that one hits the outside part of the plate, so that is strike 1 to Peyton Reeves. Reeves still trying that running slapper. And she tries to bunt that one back to bunt that one. However, it gets popped up and back to the screen, so that's an 0-2 count now. That will take the bunt out of her arsenal. That one just missed. The Lynch fans not too happy about that.
It's an aggressive approach. It's also a little risky. Once again, what happens at the point of contact isn't necessarily what's going to happen at the back of the glove.
Swung on and fouled off. Again, these two schools, longtime district rivals, got split up this year with the expansion, with an increased number of teams in 6A in the North Texas and West Texas area. Here's the pitch. And that one was low for a ball. Farlow threw over to Martinez, hoping to catch Hornick a little too far off base. But nope, nothing doing. These are the 2-2 count. Swung on, there's the slapper, right to second base.
Out is recorded at first only.
Yeah, they're only recording the out at first. They say that Santos did not get the tag on the runner Kate Hornick, so that will only be one out in the inning. Apparently, there's not too much disagreement from Bishop Lynch, as Santos is not giving the indication to the coaches that they should ask the umpires about it.
It was a good effort by Santos.
Yeah. Delaney Boley up to bat.
Tough to tell from here,
outside.
But no protest, as you say.
Yeah.
Could give us some indication.
And like I said, we're a little bit far away, and the umpire would have had a much better view of it at second base. Okay, here's pitch.
That looked like it hit her.
There, she's adjusting her equipment, but it was definitely outside for ball 2. Here's pitch. That's low. And suddenly Boley has a 3-0 count in her favor.
Boley also a team captain.
She will probably be taking all the way here. That one hit the upper part of the strike zone for a 3-1 count. Still a favorable hitter's count. Let's see if she swings away. Runner at second. Swung on, popped up. And the first baseman coming on, Martinez, makes the catch.
Alexis Martinez waves everybody off.
And that is something we had a couple times. We did not see that today, where one person takes charge of a pop-up or a fly ball, and that almost created a couple disasters for some teams today.
And now the intentional walk.
And they're going to
Portland Brown.
And they are not interested in giving Brown a chance to smack another one over the fence. So they're going to go to bat to Colleen McAvoy, who now has runners at first and second. Here's a pitch. Hit the outside part of the plate. Strike 1.
Wind picking up and blowing out again, Mike.
Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Strong wind blowing out. If McAvoy could get under one here, we could have a tie ball game.
Jackson going at her with the hard stuff. And here's a pitch. Swung on, foul back to the screen. That one is too far inside, despite some of the early cheers from the Lynch fans. That was actually going to be ball 1, running still a favorable count for Jackson. Runners at first and second for McAvoy at the plate. Swung on and hit right to Martinez at first. She grabs the ball, steps on the bag, and that's the inning. So after 3 innings of play here at the ballparks in Crosby, your score, the Bishop Lynch Friars 5, Nolan Catholic Vikings 2. You are listening to continuing coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. And we're set to begin the fourth inning of play here at the ballparks in Crosby, Texas. And the northeast section of Harris County. Here's Peyton Reeves' first pitch of the inning. It is well outside for a ball to number 11, Libby Land. That one's in there for a strike. And the umpire's been a little bit slow on giving the signal sometimes, but he does give it. Here's a pitch. Skips in there for ball 2. Two and 1 the count. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. That should be 2-2 the count. Yes, it is. We only have 2 on the board. So now, Reeves has Land in a favorable position. Swung on and hit right to the shortstop. Larson over to Brown, and that's the first out of the inning there for the Vikings.
Excellent fielding job by Larson there. Great stop, great throw, great out.
And Gabby Quintanilla, an East Central Oklahoma commit, and the starting shortstop, is now up to bat for the Friars. She'll be followed by Alexis Martinez. 1 strike to Quintanilla. Well high, ball 1. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Quintanilla with a big rip right there. But only nicked the ball. So it's a 1-2 count now in favor of Peyton Reeves as she's ahead in the count. Here's a pitch. Called third strike. She caught Quintanilla looking.
Reeves dialing up her second strikeout of the game. Good time for it.
So that's going to bring up Alexis Martinez, the first baseman for the Friars, as they look to
first baseman number 15, Alexis Martinez.
as they look to try and extend this inning and perhaps add some more runs to their lead, currently at 3. Not quite. That'll be ball 1. Reeves looking in. High for ball 2. Count swung on, popped up, and off the little facing part of the roof here. We do have covered stands here at the ballparks in Crosby with some ceiling fans, which on days like today do prove very helpful.
That ball actually snuck in through the gap between the netting and the roof there.
And over to third base, McAvoy grabs it and cannot throw her out. McAvoy had a hard time. A little bit of difficulty fielding that grounder, and if you're at third base and you have a hard time, have initial trouble fielding the ball, that is in all likelihood going to be a runner at first base. And Tabitha Jackson, the starting pitcher, now up to bat for the Friars. High and outside, ball 1. It is 0-1 the count. On it. 1-1 the count now to Jackson. With that one found the outside part of the plate. Well outside. Boley having to reach out there to snag that ball. So far she's done a good job in avoiding any balls getting past her with runners on base. Swung on, and that one is in the center field. Hornick coming on. Kate Hornick, that is, and she makes the catch. Says hi to her sister Emmy Hornick, and that's the end of the inning of the top half of the fourth. Your score through 3.5 innings, the Bishop Lynch Friars 5, the Nolan Catholic Vikings 2, here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. We are getting set to begin the bottom half of the fourth inning as Coach John Parham's Nolan Catholic Vikings trail the Bishop Lynch Friars 5-2. Led by number 10, Emmy Hornick, leading off the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on, right to the first baseman, Martinez. She grabs it, steps on first, and there's out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Just what the starting pitcher Jackson would like. Elena Larson, number 8, the shortstop, now at the bat. Jackson's pitch. Off the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Jackson's pitch. Swung on and past the diving second baseman Santos. And Larson is in there with a base hit.
It's a great hit towards the second baseman. Found the hole, and the Vikings are in business with 1 out.
Yeah, Larson was having to range over to her right to make the diving attempt, but it was underneath her glove. Would have been a tremendous play if she had been able to get a hold of that. Peyton Fisher, the second baseman, now at the bat with 1 runner on and 1 out as Vikings look to chip into this lead. Emmy Hornick strayed a little bit far off of first base. Farlow threw down there, but she got back in plenty of time to avoid a tag. Pitch. That one catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1 the count to Peyton Fisher. Jackson's pitch. That one catches the outside part of the plate. And suddenly Peyton Fisher finds herself in a 1-2 hole. Slapped into the outfield and to the wall. Peyton Fisher heading for second. Hornick will stop at third, and it's runners at second and third, and one out.
A clutch hit by the Nolan Catholic senior. Coming through at a big moment in this game. Only one out on the board. And now that's going to set things up for number 7 for the Vikings. That's number 4, Delaney Boley. No, I'm sorry, that's 13, Mackenzie Ross.
Mackenzie Ross, the 9th place hitter and the designated player now after that. That was a nice job by Fisher to get it. She was behind in the count, and then to be able to drive hit a double to get her and her teammate over. Swung on to third base, looks back, and no chance for Larson to run there.
That was a heads-up play by Escalante. She stopped and looked back at the third baseman, third base runner rather, just long enough to make sure she was staying put, and then made a great throw to first base to record the second out.
So that will actually now bring up the leadoff hitter, Kate Hornick, who has a big opportunity here. 2 runners on, 2 outs. And the ball's in the dirt. Ball 1. Hornick would love to get something to drive here. Swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Big cut there by Kate Hornick. Base hit here, probably plates 2. Swung on and fouled off. As the Friars fans get excited as Jackson tries to pitch out of a dangerous situation. 1-2 the count now to Kate Hornick. Jackson looks in. Here's the pitch. Swung on to the second baseman Santos. Over to Martinez, and that's the third out of the inning. A little bit of danger right there posed by the Vikings in that bottom half of the 4th, but the Friars escape it after 4 full innings of play here at the ballparks in Crosby. In this CAPS Division I softball semifinal, it is the Bishop Lynch Friars 5, the Nolan Catholic Vikings 2. You're listening to live coverage of the state championships here on CAPS TV and CAPS Radio. Getting set to begin the top half of the 5th inning here at the ballparks in Crosby. Bishop Lynch leading Nolan Catholic 5-2. A few tense moments there for the Friars in that inning as the Vikings had runners at second and third with only 1 out, but they were not able to plate anyone. Lilia Farlow. At the bat, the catcher. Ball 1 to her. That one catches the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. Here's Reeves' pitch, swung on, right to the shortstop. She picks it up, throws it over. Larson to Brown, out number 1 in the inning.
Larson's been tested at least a couple of times at that shortstop position with hard hit balls towards her. She's fielded them well.
And the infield defense for the Vikings has generally been pretty solid today. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and there's Larson. Ranging over to her right, picks it up, throws it over to Brown for out number 2.
Same song, second verse on that one.
Ground ball 6-3. 2 times here in this inning. Natalie Escalante. Or Natalia Escalante, a freshman third baseman. As that pitch just out of the zone. Here's the pitch. A little bit too high, and that'll make the count 2-0. Don't have it on the board, but it is 2-0. Here's the pitch.
Reeves getting a little high here in this exchange.
And 3-0 here, the count to Natalia Escalante. And that one is low for ball 4. So Escalante takes a walk down to first after Reeves had recorded the first 2 outs by a ground ball in the inning. And number 7, Marielma Garcia, the center fielder for the Friars, will step up to the plate. Just outside. Want to know the count. And make that count 2-0. Larson seems to be trying to pick at the corners. Just hasn't been able to find them very well these last few pitches. High for ball 3.
7 straight balls.
Foley
Reeves now.
Foley issuing some words of encouragement, as is Brown, the first baseman, to their starting pitcher. Peyton Reeves. Here's Reeves' pitch. That one was in there for strike 1. As the umpire gets a few Bronx cheers from the Nolan fans. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off. And suddenly Peyton Reeves has brought the count full.
Two outs on the board. A big strike by Peyton Reeves can go a long way.
She'd settle for a pop-up or a nice grounder as well. Swung on, that one into center field. Kate Hornick there to make the catch. So Kate Hornick puts that one away. And after 4.5 here at the ballparks in Crosby, it is Dallas Bishop Lynch 5, Fort Worth Nolan Catholic 2 in this Division I semifinal on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio.
I don't care what team you're a fan of. Everybody loves Deep in the Heart of Texas, Mike.
Harmony also wishes they played the Cotton Eye Joe, but, well, there can be some issues with that song on occasion. Not with the song itself. That's what people say to go along with it. And we're going to start the bottom half of the fifth inning here with Peyton Reeves, the starting pitcher. And looks like we're doing some sort of medical check out there.
TAPS has partnered with Earth Networks to provide comprehensive severe weather forecasting for our
Fortunately, they're mentioning Earth Networks, the official weather forecasting partner for TAPS. It looks like we're not going to have any rain today. There is a chance of thunderstorms in the morning tomorrow. We do have our first championship game scheduled for 9:30, so we will have to. So we'll come out here tomorrow, and hopefully we do not have any delays caused by the weather. And we're going to step away here while we try and figure out while we let this get figured out here on. There does have a bottle of water out there. They're checking her. May have gotten a little bit dehydrated. Again, it's not necessarily a hot day here, but it has been very humid and steamy all day. And as someone who lived in the Houston area for about 5 or 6 years, it's something that can fool you as to how much water you think you need.
Number 7, Marielma Garcia.
And it looks like she is going to be replaced. Hang on, we will see who is coming out there. That is number 14.
You could tell by the expression on her face she did not want to come out of this game.
That is Samantha Watson. Watson was
Garcia was the center fielder. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, hang on. I was looking at the wrong number. 14 for Bishop Lynch is, hold on, let's look that up.
I've got Daniela Vasquez.
Okay, Daniela Vasquez is now going to take over on center field. We'll see if this defensive change causes any effects. Ball 1 to Reeves, the starting pitcher. Looks like she is trying to do her running slap hit.
She's got those yellow gloves, a little unorthodox. They almost look like gardening gloves.
Yeah. Swung on and missed, strike one. That one looked like it tailed away from her at the last moment. Here's the pitch. And that one is strike 2. The Lynch fans applaud. The Nolan fans have a few questions about that, but 1-2 the count now to Reeves. Swung on, slapped right back to the pitcher. Jackson catches it on the fly to record the first out.
Boy, she needed her reflexes there. That would have been an easy single if it had gotten by Jackson, but she was having no part of that.
Yeah.
Great stop.
Yeah, having to reach out low and to her right to get that ball. Here's the pitch. Swung on and driven into left center field, and that's down for a hit for Delaney Boley. So Reeves' battering mate puts bat to ball and puts herself on base. And now Cortland Brown, who had the big two-run homer in the first for the Vikings.
She'll draw the intentional
and
walk.
They're going, and even with a runner at first base, they are going to intentionally walk her.
That's twice. I wasn't sure if they do it this time with one out on the board.
So here's a chance for Colleen McAvoy to make her pay for that. McAvoy, the starting third baseman.
Fans on both sides getting into it.
Swung on and missed. She had actually that one was fouled off. Had to have been a foul because that thing went to the backstop, and I can guarantee you both runners, I think, would have been going, although it bounced back pretty quickly. Here's Jackson's pitch to McAvoy. Swung on and missed. So Colleen McAvoy now finds herself down in the count 0-2. Jackson looking to get the second out of the inning here. That one is low for ball one.
Good patience by McAvoy.
Chose not to go fishing there. Here's the pitch. Swung on a missed strike lead. The ball is dropped, and they're going to throw over to third. She's safe, and the runner is safe at first. So okay, no, they are going to count the out there.
Well, not sure if it was intentional, but McAvoy headed to first base. Could have very well drawn the attention of the Friar defense. That's really a smart play to try and get the out at third base.
Swung on, hit in, hop high, and we got two runners going back. A collision and a catch!
She held it.
Santos, the second baseman, collided with her middle infield partner, Quintanilla, but she managed to hold on to that ball. So again, two runners left on base for the Vikings. And we head to the top of the sixth. With the score, the Bishop Lynch Friars 5, the Nolan Catholic Vikings 2, here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. back here for the top of the sixth. As number 44, J.P. Samus, is up to bat. And that one is popped up right to Larson. Larson's definitely been the defensive MVP for the Vikings in this game.
Absolutely. She's having an outstanding game there at shortstop for the Vikings.
And Libby Land, number 11, is going to come to the plate now for the Friars. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Peyton Reeves much more comfortable now. Unfortunately for her, that first inning, Lynch was hitting the ball and hitting it hard, and particularly hitting it into the gaps. Since then, she has calmed down and she's given her team a chance to get back into this. And the Vikings have had runners in scoring position the last 2 innings. They just have not been able to come up with that one key hit to drive a couple runs in.
And you really have to credit the defense on both of these teams. Outside of that first
Popped
inning,
up, back to the screen.
Both of these teams have had plenty of opportunities, plenty of threats out on the base paths, and yet there's nothing but zeros from the second inning on for both teams.
Yeah, the defense on both sides has really been good today. Vikings had a couple of errors in the first inning, but only one since then. Swung on, and that one is sent foul. Brown took a run over there to see if she could make acquaintances with the ball, but it kept drifting away. That brings the count to 0-2 on Libby Land. Here's Reeves' pitch. Held off, 1-2. Reeves really trying to paint the corners. Here's pitch. Called strike 3, got it with the curveball.
That's the third strikeout for Peyton Reeves.
That ball coming in looked like it was going to be well high, and then all of a sudden the bottom dropped out on it. So that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Gabby Quintanilla. Restarting shortstop. Outside corner. 0-1 the count now to Quintanilla as Reeves looks to pop up. That one is going to be caught by the shortstop, Larson.
Who else?
No surprise, almost had a collision there with her infield partner, Fisher, but that is the end of the inning. So Nolan Catholic has 2 innings to work with to try and cut into this lead. Your score here through 5.5 is Bishop Lynch 5, Nolan Catholic 2, here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio's coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships. We're back here at the ballparks in Crosby as the song Baby Shark has slowly drained away some of my life force. But we have a great game going on here. Bishop Lynch 5, Nolan Catholic 2. But the Vikings have been threatening these last couple of innings. Elena Larson, the shortstop, who's been the defensive hero for Nolan today so far. Up to bat. Swung on into center field. Vasquez, who was the replacement.
That's a heads-up play by Vasquez. It's not an easy thing to do to come in as a sub and carry the pressure of a semifinal game. You could see her excitement, ran over and high-fived the left fielder there.
Daniela Vasquez had to replace Marielma Garcia in the previous inning due to some sort of an injury. We don't have word on what that is, but that is going to bring up
Vikings need 3 runs and have 5 outs to get there.
It's going to bring up number 17, Peyton Fisher, the second baseman. She's going to be followed by Mackenzie Ross. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and that one drifts foul. Looked like I had a chance at the start, but it did like so many of our golf shots did, and hooked to the left.
Fisher, the senior, a captain, had a clutch hit earlier in this game to keep things going for the Vikings. Looking to do the same here.
Outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count now. To Peyton Fisher, the second baseman, as the bottom of the order tries to get something going here. Swung on and fouled back to the screen.
Both teams with 4 hits. Vikings with 3 errors to Lynch's 1 at this point of the game.
And that's probably the difference right there. Swung on, and that one's going to be fouled off as well. Escalante goes over to take a look, but it's on to the roof and then out into the concourse area. Ballparks in Crosby, we've got the softball field where we're stationed at. Directly to our right is the baseball field where Shiner St. Paul and Lake Jackson, Brazosport Christian are playing in a Division 5 semifinal. And here's the pitch. Low. And that's going to bring the count full to Peyton Fisher. And directly behind these 2 main fields are 2, I guess you can call them JV or auxiliary fields for baseball and softball. Teams may be able to warm up while the other game's going on.
It's an outstanding facility here at Crosby. Looks to be brand new.
And that's high, and Peyton Fisher.
The senior working it.
Gets out a few more steps to her Fitbit counter and heads on down to first.
And doing it the hard way.
Came from behind in the count to draw that walk. As Farlow gives out instructions to the defensive infield as Mackenzie Ross, the designated player. Hang on, let's make sure that is Ross. Hang on, we do have a pinch hitter here. Kate Griffith, a junior for the Vikings, junior outfielder, is going to bat in place of Mackenzie Ross. Here's the pitch. High, ball 1. Farlow tosses back over to first to make sure that Fisher doesn't get any ideas. Swung on and missed. One and one the count now to the pinch hitter, Kate Fisher. Excuse me, Kate Griffith. That should be 2-1 now. It only says 1-1 on the board, but that should be 2-1.
The time of the game where every single fan in the stands becomes an umpire, Mike.
Yes. outside. Just off the plate.
Nice shade over the field now for the moment.
As both crowds get excited here. 1 on, 1 out, a 3-1 count to Kate Griffith. Here's pitch. And Griffith draws the walk. So Jackson hasn't walked many this game, is suddenly running into a little bit of a problem here. And that is going to bring up the lead-up hitter, Kate Hornick. And we're getting close to the heart of the lineup here for Nolan.
Little conference with the head coach. Big moment for the Vikings here.
And Coach Amy Wheeler comes out to chat with her team. Kate Hornick now up to bat. As it's suddenly nervy times for the Flyers again. 2 on and 1 out. They've been in this situation the last 2 innings. Swung on and foul back to screen. And the count starts off 0-1 to Hornick. The Friars are looking to secure both teams looking to secure a spot in tomorrow's championship game. They'll take on the winner of Houston St. Agnes and San Antonio Incarnate Word, which starts at 6:30 tonight, excuse me. That one is fouled off. And suddenly Hornick finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Swung on and hit into right field. The right fielder, Samish, looking back. She catches it. The runner from second advances over to third.
JP Samish. Great job positioning herself to get underneath that ball. We've seen some errors in the outfield.
And hang on, they're claiming that the runner did not tag up. And the umpires are saying, no, she did. Yeah, you were mentioning everybody thinks they're an umpire at this time of the game. Yeah. Farlow comes out and directs the defense as Peyton leaves the starting pitcher. Looks to get a run home and chop into that lead. Strike one. If Reeves gets on, Delaney Boley, the catcher, will be up next. There's a pitch. And that's strike 2.
Well, if you're being optimistic for Nolan, even if Reeves goes down here in the 7th, you'll have Boley, Brown, McAvoy. That's quite a 1-2-3 punch.
There's the punt. Here's the payoff pitch, and that is slapped off and foul into the netting. Reeves stays alive.
Of course, with the runner on third, you'll be happy to take a base hit here. Get this game a little closer.
Here's Jackson looking in. Here's a pitch. Slapped foul again. The junior pitcher. Pitch. Swung on right to third base, and it gets past her. It is a fair ball. The runner at third did not have a chance to advance on that play, but Reeves gets on board,
And now you've got a D1 commit coming to the plate, followed by someone who's been intentionally walked twice. This is getting very interesting here in the 6th.
They do. Bishop Lynch does have 2 outs in the inning, so that does play into their favor, but Delaney Boley has bases full of Viking runners. Here's Jackson's pitch. High for ball 1. Jackson looking to get out of this inning without allowing one. There's a hot shot, and it's a fair ball. First runner's in, and everybody will stay where they are. Fisher comes home. Again, it was a shot right at Escalante. She was able to get her glove on it, not able to secure it.
And now look who's up.
And
Portland Brown.
Portland Brown, who had the big two-run homer in the first inning today, is up. She's been intentionally walked her last couple of times up, including with a runner on first. But they would not intentionally walk in a run here. No, they can't do that.
Bases loaded. That would be asking a whole lot of your defense.
Yeah, because that would make it 5-4. That's just asking for trouble right there. So Brown has a chance to be the hero. Jackson steps in. She looks in. Crowd getting loud here. That pitch is on the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. Brown with the 1 homer, walked twice intentionally today.
Viking fans on their feet.
Here's a pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. And Cortland Brown finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Big moment here for Tabitha Jackson. 0-2, 2 outs. Big hitter at the plate, bases loaded. Here's the play. Swung on and fouled off. That pitch a little too close to the zone. Brown had to swing at it. Unfortunately for her, was able to foul it off. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. Jackson's still ahead in the count 1-2.
Perhaps hoping Brown would go fishing there.
Yeah. May have been trying to change her eye level, her eye view. Pitch. Outside, ball 2. That evens the count. And this game is getting more and more interesting. Here we go. Jackson looking in. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A huge pitch right there for Tabitha Jackson as the Vikings leave the bases loaded, but they do get another run across. So headed to the top of the 7th. Your score, Bishop Lynch 5, Nolan Catholic 3, here on the 2019 TAPS State Softball Semifinals on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. right, we're getting set here for the top of the 7th inning. Vikings got a run across that last inning, but had a chance for more. So the situation for them is they need to make sure that Bishop Lynch does not get anything across here, and then try to rally in the bottom of the 7th to either send this thing to extras or perhaps win it all. Here's a pitch. Low for ball 1 to number 15, Alexis Martinez. Reed steps in. Tried to drop that one in the basket. Umpire says no, that'll be 2-0. The count to Martinez, the starting first baseman. Here's a pitch. That one caught the plate. 2-1 the count now to Alexis Martinez. Swung on, and that is past the third baseman, McAvoy, and that is going deep. Martinez will stop at second with a double. Amy Hornick had to chase the ball down, got it back in a second, but the Friars have a runner in scoring position now and nobody out.
Great hit. It danced right down the line all the way to the left fielder.
And now the pitcher, Tabitha Jackson, off that big strikeout. As she looks at ball 1 right there, that big strikeout against the Vikings' big power bat in Brown. Low for ball 2. Popped up. McAvoy running over, take a look at it. And Boley, the catcher, dove for it. And she ran into the wall when she dove for it, and we're going to see here if she's okay. Getting up a little bit gingerly.
Good effort by Boley. She laid out for that. Looks like she might have fell on her stomach or chest. It was a hard hit with the ground, right up against the wall.
Yep. The wall and ground down the wall probably both took their toll on her right there. That is strike 1. There's a pitch. Swung on, and that one is driving the center fielder back to the wall. Hornick's throw coming in, and the great throw by Kate Hornick kept a run from scoring.
I thought for sure that was going to be a run across home plate. It was an excellent throw by Hornick.
I think it was hit hard enough that Kate Hornick had the time to gather that ball and throw it back into the base, but that is a double right there for Tabitha Jackson, and she's going to be replaced by a courtesy runner as Coach Don Parham comes out to the pitching circle to have a conversation with his team. They got runners at second and third with nobody out.
Pinch runner now at second is number 13, Alondra Vasquez, a sophomore for the Friars.
And Lilia Farlow will be up next. I wonder if in this situation they may choose to intentionally walk Farlow here to create a force out at all the bases. It's a tactic I've seen before. It might be an option here for Coach Parham. Bring all of the runners in, or bring the infield in, and then hope you get a grounder to either the third baseman or the shortstop, and they can come home. But it looks like they are going to go ahead and pitch to Farlow. So Farlow here with a chance to open up this lead for Bishop Lynch as she has runners on second and third and nobody out.
Oh.
And that ball hits her. So no intentional walk, but she winds up getting the free pass down to first base anyway. And that is going to bring in Evelyn Santos, the second baseman. We'll see how the Vikings defense plays this.
Well, looking back, Santos had that incredible catch where she got mixed up with the shortstop. And had that ball fallen, that was probably good for at least one, if not two runs. That would have
First
completely
pitch swung
changed the
on,
complexion.
and that is charging on is Hornick, and she's not able to make the catch. One run in. As number 15 for the Friars, Alexis Martinez, crosses the plate. And so now it's 6-3.
Hornick has had a stellar game out there.
That one she was having to charge full speed in to try and track that down. That pitch down the outside part of this plate for strike one to Natalia Escalante. That one caught the outside corner, probably right at the top of the zone two, but that is an 0-2 count now to Escalante, as Reeves would love to get a strikeout here. Outside ball one. The Friars scored 5 in the first. The Vikings answered with 2 of their own. The teams went scoreless until the bottom of the 6th, as that pitch is in there for a second ball of this at bat. 2-2 the count now. Remained scoreless until the bottom of the 6th when the Vikings managed to push across 1 run, but they've left a number of runners on base, and this inning, Bishop Lynch has put 1 run across and still has bases loaded with nobody out. Here's a pitch. And Santos draws the count full. Again, the infield is playing in, although not in extremely shallow. They would love to cut the lead runner down at first. And that ball is fouled. McEvoy takes a few steps over towards it and then sees that it is headed well foul. Here's a pitch. And that one is ball 4, and that walks in another run for Bishop Lynch. They now lead 7-3 here in the top of the 7th.
And you got to tip your cap there to junior Cortland Brown. In a tough spot, coming over, giving her pitcher some encouragement there.
That pitch in there for a strike. And Daniela Vasquez, who replaced Marielma Garcia a couple innings ago when Garcia got hurt. Here's a pitch. Swung on and pop foul. The Vikings really cannot allow any more runners if they want to have any realistic hope of making a comeback in this game. Here's a pitch. That one's a ball. Reeves trying to be careful here, perhaps in some cases a little too careful. Count is 1-2. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed, and that's the third strike. So, Daniela Vasquez goes down on strikes, and that is going to bring up J.P. Samus, the right fielder for the Friars. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and gets the out at first. That was Fisher, the second baseman.
Heads up play by Fisher to go home and prevent the run.
Able to field it cleanly, send it straight home to avoid an out, and it looks like Amy Wheeler is going to make some sort of a change right here. Could be a pinch runner. And actually, hang on, they're going to bring up, it's actually going to be a pinch hitter, number 21, Jasmine Montanez. Or Montanas. Is going to take her place in the batter's box. 2 outs now, bases still loaded. As Peyton Reeves delivers the pitch. Catches the inside part of the plate, strike 1. Caught the outside part of the plate. As Fisher seemed to rediscover her feel for the strike zone. That's a little bit too far outside. The umpire signals that the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Swung on right to the shortstop, over to first. Larson to Brown, and that is the end of the inning. But the Friars plate 2 in that inning. They now lead 7-3 over the Vikings, and they are 3 outs away from an appearance in tomorrow's state championship game. Nolan Catholic's going to have to rally here in the bottom of the 7th. You're watching the TAPS State Softball Championships here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. All right, getting set to begin the bottom of the 7th inning here. We'll have Colleen McAvoy, Emmy Hornick, and Elena Larson will be the first 3 batters. But the Vikings are going to need a lot more batters to come to the plate if they want to either tie or potentially even win this game. Tabitha Jackson steps onto the circle to face Colleen McAvoy. Here's a pitch. Inside, ball 1.
Vikings got to the state final after a 14-1 victory over Bishop Dunn in the first round, and then a 2-1 thrill over Ursuline.
Inside.
That Ursuline game was
inside part of the plate. Strike 1, 1-1 the count.
Was a walk-off win. It would take that here, but 4 runs, a lot to ask.
That's high. Ball 2. 2-1 the count to McAvoy.
Bishop Lynch, on the other hand, defeated Trinity Christian Addison 10-0 in the opening round and avenged their only district loss to John Paul II in the second round, 15-1.
Swung on and fair ball for McAvoy. Just down the line, McAvoy turning and heading for second. And it went down to the corner. She thought about third for a moment and then decided, no, probably best just to stay right where I am.
Big hit for McAvoy.
She decided to follow the old rule of never make your first or last out at third base. But that is going to bring up the shortstop, Elena Larson, who's been tremendous defensively today. And we'll see if she can contribute something on the offensive end. She has gotten on base for at least 1 hit today, so we'll see if she can come through big here for Lady Vikings with a runner in scoring position and no outs. Here's a pitch outside. Ball one. Tabitha Jackson dealing with trying to work around this leadoff double by Colleen McAvoy. Jackson's pitch. That one caught the plate.
Like
number one.
Really got to Jackson. She was able to ultimately pull it out with a big strikeout, but you wonder if she's vulnerable to these Viking hitters right now.
Excuse me, this is Emmy Hornick at the plate. I was looking at the wrong number. Emmy Hornick has also been very good in center field, but now finds herself down the count 1-2. It was the bottom lineup that got the rally going in the last inning. Swung on and popped up, and the third baseman Escalante is there. She's able to corral it, and that is out number one. So Elena Larson's going to come up to the plate now.
After those first two rounds, Lynch outscored their opponents 26-1, and now up on Nolan Catholic 7-3, and 2 outs away from the state championship game.
Here's the pitch. Elena Larson, that one finds the zone for the opening strike. Jackson trying to bear down and come after these Vikings hitters. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one is fouled off. That one's headed for somewhere in the dugout area. Probably actually the bullpen area. Jackson taking her time. Here's a pitch. Swung on, grounder to third. Escalante's there, throws over to first to Martinez for the out. And the Vikings are down to their final out here in this state semifinal. Peyton Fisher is going to need to stay alive to keep this inning going. As the Lynch fans come to their feet, cowbells are clanging. There's a pitch. Outside to Fisher. Ball one. If Fisher gets on base, well, we'll see who they're sending up as a pinch hitter. That one is high. They sent Kate Griffith in the ninth spot last time as a pinch hitter. We'll see what they do here. They will probably keep her there. Here's the pitch. That one caught the plate. 2-1 the count now to Peyton Fisher. Vikings trying to find some way to rally here on the bottom of the seventh. Flyers just looking to end this. Off the plate, 3-1 the count. As a few of the stand umpires disagree with that call. Tabitha Jackson steps on the rubber, looks in and gets her signal. Here's a pitch. High. That is ball four. That is ball four.
Fisher again working hard at the plate and draws a walk.
She's basically telling Jackson, you're going to have to throw something right down the middle for me to swing at. And Kate Griffith, who's now taken over the designated player spot from Mackenzie Ross. Up to bat, 2 runners on, but 2 outs. That ball's high, 4-1. Jackson suddenly struggling a little bit with her control. That one is a little bit that one is into the, well, I would say the dirt, but that's one is into the turf for ball 2.
Jackson unhappy with herself after that one, and now the coach is going to come out.
And Amy Wheeler coming out to talk to her charges, get them calmed down. conversation over. Everybody returns to their positions. Runners on first and second. Two outs for the Vikings. And the Friars looking to end this one and send themselves on to the state title game tomorrow. Jackson looks, Jackson deals. That one is in there for strike one. Griffith taking all the way on that pitch. Here's the pitch. That is ball three. So now a very favorable hitter's count. Question being, will they let Griffith turn it loose on and swing away at this? Or are they going to force Jackson to throw the strike? That is the fourth. Oh! I thought that one was a little bit high. Griffith a little bit surprised by that call, but umpire said it hit the top of the zone, so we got a full count now. All right, here we go. Payoff pitch. Strike three called, and that's the ball game. Your final score in this Division I semifinal: the Dallas Bishop Lynch Friars 7, the Fort Worth Nolan Catholic Vikings 3, and Bishop Lynch will advance on to the state championship game tomorrow. Well, they will take on the winner of Houston St. Agnes and San Antonio Incarnate Word.
And it was just a good game, you know. Look at the scoreboard. It didn't really develop. We had that initial scoring fury in the first for both teams, and Lynch ultimately put it away in the end, but it was compelling baseball all the way up until the end. Yeah,
the Friars got to Peyton Reeves, the Vikings starting pitcher, very early in the first inning. They were very aggressive with their swings. A lot of well-hit balls into the gap. A couple of defensive miscues, and all of a sudden they've got 5 runs in the top of the first. Cortland Brown came back with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. The big thing for the Vikings was they did have a number of situations where they had runners in scoring position in both the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning, as well as this past one, and just were not able to get them home. A disappointing end for Nolan Catholic on their second straight trip, on their 4th straight trip to a state Final Four. But a great season for them, and an outstanding season for the Bishop Lynch Lady Friars will continue tomorrow at 12:30 when they take on the winner of our next game between Houston St. Agnes and San Antonio Incarnate Word. For my partner Gabriel Duarte, this has been Mike Weber saying, please watch the awards ceremony, and we'll see you at 6:30. Have a good evening.
to the Division I State Softball Championship game being played tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. They will face the winner of our next game.